Guys, I've really been wanting to see this video. I have it saved in my watch on stream, right? In my Discord. I have it on watch on stream text channel, and I've been wanting to see this. It's called League in 2022. Is it as toxic as they say? And I don't know what this is actually going to be about other than, like, yeah, of course it's toxic, but it's always been. So I want to know what even he's going to talk about. Let's see.
We can all admit that Arcane is hype. It has everyone excited about Season 2 and overall the cinematic universe of Runeterra, the League of Legends series of games. We're gonna get Projekt L fighting game and
oh, I love this shit. I saw the fighting game for this, by the way. It's sick.
MMO. And yeah, people are jumping into teamfight tactics and they want to explore more of the lore. You got Legends of Runeterra, but you do have players eyeballing the originator League of Legends. And for as many essays as there are on Arcane, there are 20 times more comments in every one of those videos talking about how you shouldn't play League of Legends because it's toxic. And with the launch of the new season, the best time to jump into any esports scene, I wanted to test that and give you my thoughts and feelings. Because I do think that this is a great game to learn about esports, and I think it's a great game that anybody can play. It's free, fair, runs on most machines. But now if you're actually playing on a lower end hardware, maybe a laptop, but you still want to use the internet for like looking up—
wow, look at this guy. This guy's an uber gamer. Look, he's got his pizza on his bed. He's got the PlayStation controller using a laptop fucking Mac. This guy's on board.
Hardware, maybe a laptop, but you still want to use the internet for like looking up guides or maybe multitasking with media while playing. Maybe jump in between a couple of different IO games while in queue. Then I can fully recommend today's sponsor, which is the Opera GX. Uses whenever you play from other sources like YouTube, and as well the music player, which intelligently pauses whenever you, especially on a laptop with limited screen. Chrome, and it's even compatible. The links are below if you want a browser that both get sounds and wallpapers. Can play League of Legends, and most people know of League of Legends actually, but should you play League of Legends? The answer is yes. I'm not gonna skirt around it too long. It's really actually genuinely a competitive game that has a tremendous amount of depth. It's actually not that difficult to get into for the most part, and
it's not difficult to get into? How? You guys want my opinion? I feel like League is hard to get into. It's actually the opposite. I feel like there's a learning curve to it that the average player, maybe the average player just wants to have fun. It's easy to download. It's easy accessible. Maybe he's right.
There's just so much you can do depending on like the role you want to play, the characters that you want to play, the different items that you purchase on these different
Okay, I take it back. He's right.
Characters. There's just like a lot of game to be gamed in
this
game.
Top,
but today's topic is on toxicity.
It is, I guess,
League of Legends,
easy to get into.
Overall.
Easy to get into, hard to master, I guess, because I mean, like high level play is obviously different, but if you don't care about high level play, then who cares, right? Just enjoy the game.
The interaction socially within this title, and as well the gameplay, because it is a team-based game, and how you interact with your fellow players, your gamers, how that actually affects you, all that really matters. And League of Legends infamously is known as, okay, the most toxic title out there, but maybe because it is the most openly and honestly competitive title out there as well. There's a whole lot of reasons why there is a frictional sort of social interaction inside of this game. 5v5, and then it's like 30-minute matches, and if you die, you make your opponent stronger. A lot of different things all kind of tying together to make people quite agitated with you, your teammates, and then that all just sort of cyclically feeds into itself, and yeah, the game kind of just becomes a bastard of what it could be. So if you watch competitive gameplay and sometimes streamers or maybe a few games here and there, you're gonna have a lot of fun, but then every so often, and that so often happens very often, you're going to have interactions that kind of ruin everything. If not just a little bit pervert the experience that you think should be more pure. In a team-based,
pretty much,
let's go guys sort of game, MOBA, we all need to work together, power of friendship, that's not League of Legends, and you'll very quickly find that out when you start playing. But is that truly cancerous and toxic? I mean, how toxic is this game, really? And what exactly does that mean? What does that entail? And I want to talk about that. But first, we need to define what is toxicity.
What is toxicity?
So toxicity, it's defined as the quality of being very harmful or unpleasant in a pervasive or insidious way. And in terms of League of Legends, I basically could probably relay that as any sort of action, anything that a player could do that is malignant, as in...
They get mad really fast in League. Like, really fast, man. You make like 10 good plays, one bad play, they're gonna fucking bash you so hard. Especially if that play is like literally trash.
That
they're
this
brutal.
is something that is unpleasant that could spread throughout the player base, which
You
is
should
a
just
team game,
not
so
care.
literally anything you do does affect someone else. Hopefully it's the enemy team. You know, you can actually
And fucking all chat. All chat is the biggest meme ever.
play a little bit with toxicity in that sense. That's a fun topic to rant about. But generally, it's going to be anything that you could do that's negative towards your team play experience, towards your teammates, you're supposed to be your friends. Not really, they're randoms too, but
Let me out.
regardless, yeah, you're supposed to be working toward a common goal, and you're doing something that makes that a little uncomfortable. And that's pretty much it. Anything that could be uncomfortable, but also is something that is malicious. You have to intend it, right? Well, that's kind of where I would love to deviate from the definition of, I don't think you have to really mean
Just report recording for YouTube.
to directly harm actually any of your teammates, because the common goal in this game is growth, it is progression, it is to win the match. And anything that you do that does not help your team specifically fully as a full team experience to win the game, I think actually is toxicity and breeds toxicity. I think that makes the game League of Legends toxic. And that,
I'll do one game with it, sure.
I think a lot of people are starting, the gears are turning to get what I'm trying to say here. Because you're playing solo queue and you can't trust your teammates, because really in the end, most people climb thinking it's 1v9, then you start to play more selfishly. You start to play in a specific kind of way that isn't exactly team-oriented. I mean, as an example, some people say to avoid toxicity, then you should just mute everyone all games all the
What did the keyboard do to you, man? Chill.
time. But it's a team.
I I never broke it with my head, but there has been a point where I was mashing W so hard, and my F key as well. Like I typed /FF a lot, and like my F key like was like sunk in the keyboard because of how much I pressed it. But that was my old keyboard, not this one. But my F key got fucked.
Team game, and you objectively would be better with communication, and that would
There
make
it goes.
the game
Let it
more
out,
fun.
bro.
But now there is this culture of
feel that.
not talking.
Oh,
in fact,
God.
from my experience playing this game from the very beginning, I noticed that whenever I try to say anything, even if I'm not toxic at all, even if I'm overwhelmingly positive, if I say anything that is sort of strategic or tactical in any sort of way, 99% of the time it really feels like I get yelled at, you know, or if I type too much, people get really annoyed because they don't want to type, because that is not the culture of League of Legends, because League of Legends itself as a game mechanically rewards you to focus on just yourself, on just your mechanics and just your numbers and your strategies and really just you. Really how it feels for a lot of the climbing, especially in lower elos, is the game is basically 1v1 in one lane, 1v1 in another, 2v2 in another lane, and then you have the junglers. Now, I do play jungle, so I do tend to want to talk about the overall macro strategy. I do want to actually play with my...
Just watching other people get mad is so funny, dude. It's fucking content.
teammates, and I interact with more people more often than other roles, and it is also the most niche
Oh my god, look at his chat. Oh my god. You guys can see it, right?
role as
Look
well.
at his chat. He's got the fucking annoying ass bots. Wanna become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers.
The most
Same shit.
unplayed. So it is a unique experience.
Yeah, I don't know either, DBK. Like, I've never actually broken something. Because then I think, well, now I have to buy a new one. You know? Unless I'm already buying a new one and I break it, you know?
For me to really see the full gameplay experience, and me just being a social gamer, I think that typing is definitely a part of the game, and League of Legends is uniquely the game that would be most rewarding to have communication in, and yet has an absolute culture of no communication. In fact, yeah, that is a pro tip from everyone ever. If you want to avoid toxicity and probably climb more often better, then yeah, you should probably not really talk to people, and maybe even so, actually just straight up every match, mute everyone. It isn't that everyone is so filthy and toxic and, you know,
doing it avoids the chance of interaction to have a bad encounter, which is more than likely going to happen. But if you have enough mental resilience, it won't matter too much because it won't bother you. But before, it did bother me a lot, especially when all chat, like the enemy mid laner, talk shit to me, like, oh man, you're bad, cat. I was like, I literally, before, I swear, I would fucking flame him so hard. What the fuck is you fucking saying to me, you little fucking bitch? I hope you know who you're talking to right now, pussy. 1.8 million Katarina mastery points. You don't fuck with me. Yeah, I do it. I was an egotistical little shit sometimes.
I was trying to ruin your game. Everyone's trying to win, and everyone's trying to have fun, and a lot of people are trying to, you know, make friends and have a good experience.
Yeah, that's Night Blue.
But that's just kind of how the game incentivizes people to play. Especially unlike Dota, which is very much about teamwork and strategy and making picks, you know, from the very beginning, strategizing and working with teammates and then having voice communication. No, League of Legends is almost like a fighting game where you pick a main, you know, character and you play the crap out of that character, and you just really focus on almost like fighting game mechanics, getting your combos right, and really nailing down the timing of the matches.
Died at 2 minutes in the game. Oh my god.
Versus, you know, trusting random teammates and really working with them. It's much better and more often you'll win if you just smash a lane. Because, yeah, the game kind of is a 1v1 game. If you smash so hard early that then you can just carry the rest of the match, then, yeah, you win. And that is the most reliable way to win, especially when you literally can't trust your teammates because they are random. As well, because not everyone can type that fast or read that fast, or because of the type of title that it is, it actually is a sort of pseudo-fighting game when it comes to the laning. You can't always be looking at text. You can't be typing. So, yeah, there's no voice chat, and that just makes it basically impossible to really...
You know what would be funny, DBK, if one of my clips is here? I wouldn't care. I mean, fuck it. It's content, like, I guess, but imagine if one of my clips is here right now.
Have these sort of strategies that you see in professional play.
Just my fucking...
Or you play with your friends, or you play, you know,
I have no choice but to play the shit game.
No, it's just not going to happen. Solo queue League of Legends is actually a different game than the rest, or the real, you know, sport of League of Legends. And that can be seen as a tragedy, and it is something that you should be knowing going into this game. But at the same time, you can gamify it, and you can have fun with it. And so
I agree, you can have fun with it. Despite all the shit.
That's why admitting, yes, there is a toxic environment to League of Legends. There are people who are very angry and salty in this game very often, but at the same time, you can do some stuff and things with that. You can actually learn to play around it, and you can even literally play with it when it comes to certain ways that you actually play this game. So, wrapping up just the conclusion of, is League toxic? Yes, it is, but is that actually a bad thing? I think that you can actually have negativity and attrition and competition properly, and it can be sporty, it can even be cooperative in some instances.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's not sporty at all in League. I mean, it can be like in other games, but... Like, dude, people in this game literally find every single, like, mental illness possible and just throw it at your face. Oh, you have AIDS. Well, AIDS is not a mental illness, but you know what I mean, okay? Like, they'll bring up, like, every, like, disease, mental illness, whatever, you name it. And they'll throw everything. Like, that's, like, not even about sporty. I don't know why he's saying that. Yeah, of course it's a bad thing. I think what he's trying to say, but he's not saying it properly, is competitive. Being competitive is good, but you have to be sportsmanlike about it. Like, yeah, like when people in football, right? Like competitive football. I watch football a lot, right? Yeah, the players sometimes yell at each other and stuff. There's that competitive energy. It's there, you know? Because they want to perform optimally. But you know, like in this game, it's different. It's behind a keyboard. It's virtual, and they use like really bad things. You know, really bad things. Like it's just too much.
Actually, in a lot of sports and a lot of games, but League of Legends specifically probably does need some features inside of it so that it actually soothes the player base a little bit, because it does get just a little frustrating, and it does actually cause people to ruin entire matches for everyone else.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. One example is inside of League of Legends, you actually do have a surrender option, and especially in
FFXIV right now. Yeah, that's me back then. FF after one death.
Korean servers, you have people who realize that, yes, because of the nature of the game, it does snowball. People do get really, really strong, and basically you can clearly tell that you're going to lose a match more often than not, and it's better to actually quit a match and then find more matches more often and you know, have a higher chance of winning than sitting in a match and like hoping on a chance that maybe you could possibly bring it back. This is actually a tactic that's used often in fighting games.
Damn.
Sometimes forfeiting
on.
is legitimately a tactic to actually kind of recuperate and kind of unfluster yourself so that you can re-strategize and come back in and have your solid mechanics and maybe win the next round or maybe win the next match from loser's bracket. But in League of Legends, for some reason, there is this mentality that's quit.
Oh my god, she has the exact same microphone I do. Holy shit. It's the HyperX Quadcast. Look. Exactly like mine.
And FFing or you know,
That's
seeing
it.
that a match is a loss and then kind of rage quitting out of that, that's sort of seen as a negative and toxic thing. But in other games and other sports, even in Olympic athletes,
The Master Yi is taking her minions. Dude, I would be pissed if I was AD carry there. Okay, this is really shit though, what the Master Yi is doing.
there is this mentality.
She's on her way, right? Yeah, I can see the map. She's on her. Why is Master Yi hard pushing?
That's quitting and FFing or you know, seeing that a match is a loss and then kind of rage quitting out of that, that's
Wait, this Master Yi is trolling.
sort of seen as a negative and toxic thing.
Why
But
is
in
he
other
shoving?
games and other sports, even in Olympic athletes,
Oh my god, I would tell too. I mean, honestly. I mean, that's annoying. Yeah, I know why she's like angry there. I fully understand that. That's annoying. Don't do this. If you're a jungler, don't do this. Like, bot lane wants to have things their way. Don't do this.
loss and then kind of rage quitting out of that, that's sort of seen as a negative
This rage is understandable.
and toxic thing. But in other games and other sports, even in Olympic athletes, people know that quitting is actually a strategy. It is actually something that is good for your mental health and literal physical health, even in video games. I wish quitting wasn't seen so badly, but it is. So my solution, so that people feel a little bit of alleviation from the toxicity of League of Legends, which mostly stems from the time that's stuck inside of matches that you think are losses, that you know are losses, well, then let players quit pretty much anytime they want. I think quitting should be allowed. I mean, what is the difference between quitting and tilting anyways? If you...
Wait. Is this guy saying they should be able to quit the game? That defeats the whole purpose of ranked and shit. Like, what? What the fuck is this guy saying?
people feel a little bit of alleviation from the toxicity of League of Legends, which mostly stems from the time that's stuck inside of matches that you think are losses, that you know are losses, well, then let players quit pretty much anytime they want. I think quitting should be allowed. I mean, what is the difference?
That's literally trolling. That's literally trolling if you quit.
Between quitting and tilting anyways. If you aren't playing your best, you're probably going to lose, and that means your team's going to lose, and you're affecting everyone in that experience. I mean, that's what we're talking about, is people being toxic because they don't think they're going to win, or that they, you know, they are frustrated or something like that. They're tilted. So
Okay. So if the guy decides that now he's tilted 5 minutes in the game, it's okay that he leaves now. This is actually the most zero IQ take I've ever heard in my life. This is actually zero IQ take.
probably going to lose, and that means your team's going to lose, and you're affecting everyone in that experience. I mean, that's what we're talking about, is people being toxic because they don't think they're going to win, or that they
don't think they're going to win. That's their problem, not the team's problem.
You know, they are frustrated or something like that. They're tilted. So yeah, let people quit. Let people quit out, and then if someone quits, then let everyone else quit. And then FF. Maybe we should FF much earlier. I mean, if someone doesn't want to play a match, then why have them go through with it? Yes, it ruins the match for everyone.
What, surrender in 5 minutes because the invade went bad? Oh guys, we lost the invade. I guess we should FF. What?
Else, but
how is FFing early gonna solve the problem?
It will anyways, and actually that's what I'm talking about. It's going to ruin it for everyone anyways. They're stuck in the match, so what are they gonna do? They're gonna type, they're gonna talk, they're going to yell, they're gonna scream, and it's just a really uncomfortable experience that really, you're gonna hear this a lot, it holds you hostage. Yes, League of Legends holds you hostage. It is designed to hold you hostage. Not as badly as Dota 2, but yes, that does actually happen in League of Legends.
Okay. I don't know. Like, okay, I know that it like keeps you in, but the people that are tilting, it's their problem. Like, how is this the team's problem? And why should they be allowed to leave? He's talking from a casual... Oh, he must be talking from a casual standpoint. There's no way. Right? There's no way like he's talking about like ranked and shit.
And another solution that I have to toxicity in League of Legends is please enable voice chat. And I know from firsthand experience being a Masters player in Overwatch...
I'd be fine with that. I'm always someone that said I want voice chat. I would be okay with it. I don't care if they do it or not.
Watch how toxic voice chat can be. And in fact, most of the time I don't talk in Dota because of the same reason. Like, it can be, you know, very negative. But at the same time, those games are fast-paced games, or at least Overwatch is, and you really do require voice chat, voice communication. And in the case of Dota, it is a very nuanced game that you do need probably more nuanced strategies and tactics that you need to actually talk about and enunciate and make very clear to your teammates. League of Legends is actually in between both of those games, where it has these big epic tactics that you can actually discuss with your teams, and yet right on the fly, you do need that communication, especially in the bot lane, and whenever you're ganking as a jungler, what's happening, you know, who is blinking out of the bush or whatever. These things all come into play, and basically what you have is, in League of Legends right now, kind of a toxic environment where everyone just asks after the fact, why did you do that? Or, wow, you're bad. You can only react, and most people only react to the negative situations instead of being proactive, like you do actually see inside of the games Dota and Overwatch. And the final thing that I can actually think of to make League of Legends as a whole less toxic is probably to more often include just for fun game modes, because I know you can do it right, you have it in you.
Yeah, I've always wondered why 1v1 game mode is not a thing in League. I would play that all the time. That sounds so fun. Like a 1v1 magma chamber. You guys know about that when they talked about it and they revealed the map? Like, magma chamber was sick. I was actually hyped for it.
We've done a few that, yeah, we're a little inspired from Dota, but
I think
1v1s. Overall, these seasonal events and these skin events, which I know you're going to ramp up, I know you're going to implement these, but this is something that I think should be taken very seriously, because obviously ARAM is kind of a safe space for League of Legends. It's just a for fun zone to actually jump into, but I wish that there was more promotion of custom games and unique ways that we could customize our experience, because I would love to play with my community more and do weird, wacky stuff like I can in Dota or Overwatch. I actually rest in peace though. But League of Legends, I think...
Overwatch Workshop, that's how you can do it. You can literally customize everything.
...is just so hyper-focused on the solo queue game experience that it kind of forgot what it could be elsewhere. And I know that a lot of these game modes aren't too popular, but overall, letting League of Legends be bigger than a solo queue, I think is going to be really important moving forward. This game is really popular, especially with Arcane releasing, getting more players in here, and even the success of Teamfight Tactics and the card game. Yeah, more and more people who didn't play League are getting interested in Runeterra and might just jump back into League of Legends to see what it's all about, or literally reinstalling it like I have, and keep doing doing and will always do, because yes, this is my most played game. I love this game. I love it. Just solo queue is a little rough, you know? And it would be really cool to do more inside of this game that isn't just try-harding in solo queue, and I think that would alleviate a lot of stress from me.
I agree with him there that there should be more than just solo queue, and I know there is around blah blah blah, but there needs to be something else, something extra. I agree there. Like 1v1 magma chamber is something I was always looking forward to.
Whole community, and I think whenever we are in an untilted mentality, then yeah, solo queue will perform better, and there'll just be a little bit less toxicity. At least from my experience, especially playing the MOBA Smite, where sure, yeah, I could play Conquest and be stuck in for 40 minutes and
Smite.
you know, try hard or whatever. But overall, most people actually play the arenas, or I can go and play Joust, you know, have some fun. I really do wish League of Legends had like a 1v1 mode. I don't know, they tried it, and I get.
Yeah, he's talking about solo queue right now directly.
It didn't work, but whenever they do like these seasonal events and it's like a big
when he
skin
said people
drop,
should
and
leave,
it's like, you know, there's all these new updates and new patch
talking
notes
about
and stuff
solo
like
queue
that.
as well.
Yeah, I get it. This is a competitive game. This is an esport game, but it would just be really cool to sometimes be able to explore some different characters in a more fun way that isn't just being stuck in a freaking match for 30 minutes with a character that maybe I would like, well, won't like. You know, I just sometimes just want to play League of Legends because, you know, just the end of the day, this game does feel good to play. It is a good game. It generally runs pretty freaking great.
Yeah.
Anybody can play it anywhere, anytime, and it is very fair. It's just really, in the end, I can't play too many games, too many matches in a day, because eventually it does get to a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm salty, and that's pretty much going to be the experience of most people.
Don't fall into that trap.
Salty. You can only play it so much, and then it gets to you. And that's really sad, where a lot of games, like, you end almost all the time always on a high note. It's like, yeah, I've had too much fun, you know, it's way too late, time for bed or something like that. No, League of Legends, you stop because your heart literally hurts. You know, your blood pressure is literally high because you're physically aching.
Yeah, that's literally me, dude. Like, almost every fucking day I played this game back then. I would just go to, I'm like, one more game, I gotta win. One more game, I never fucking win. I go to bed angry. I go to bed, I'm just so fucking pissed. I'm so fucking pissed. There was literally one time I went down to the kitchen. I ran down the kitchen and I bursted open the door, and my dad was there. He's like, "What happened?" Oh, hi, Dad. It's like I stepped back into reality. Like, oh, why did I kick that door? Like, am I so mad? And my dad's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I get so pissed. One time I was like on my knees, hands in the air. Why is this happening to me? You know, like as if I'm going through a fucking crisis. And the world is ending, dude. Man, I got so pissed off. There's one point I was trying to sleep. I wanted to yell so hard because I was so mad. So I went to bed. I face planted on the pillow and just started yelling. And I started smacking my head on the pillow. I started punching the pillow. Yeah, it was so bad, man. Like, I got really pissed off playing this game. So everything here, like, just gotta look at it differently, you know? Different point of view.
From the stress of playing this game. And I think that there are ways to alleviate that. Hopefully Riot implements them, but it does come from a design perspective. Like, they have to actually design the game and the gameplay and the gameplay loop of it just to alleviate this stress on players. So is the game toxic? Yeah, there is negative experiences in it that are sometimes on purpose and sometimes just incidentally, because that's just how the game rewards you. There's just gonna be toxic interactions in this game, but to be honest, that kind of is expected. And yes, it does kind of suck a little bit, but what really gets, I think, players down is that it's stressful, and it's so stressful for such a long period of time, and it is just such a hammering of the nail over and over and over every single match of pretty much the same thing. People are irritated, they make you irritated, and you're stuck in a match for freaking ever. And it sort of ruins your shot of playing what you think is the real League of Legends. But you go in with the right mentality, the right perspective of, well, combating and fighting with and against the toxicity and negative emotions. That's the real game. If you see it as that, then you can actually have a lot of fun. But eventually, you're going to forget that. Eventually, it's just going to be irritating, and eventually, you're going to have to put down the game for a little bit. That's just how it is until some things get fixed, or until you can kind of readjust your own personality in order to live in that environment. But yeah, that is my review. That is the environment of League of Legends. If you can accept it, you can have a lot of fun. That's not saying that the game is worse, actually, or bad.
No, the game is
really
good.
Great. It's good, and some people play it for the toxicity, which is actually my case. I do play it for this environment, but I do wish it was better. I wish it acknowledged the things that made the game itself toxic, and I think that in the future it will and be better, but as it is right now, if you're coming from Arcane or maybe some of the other Riot games and you jump into League of Legends, just
he's jumping on the Arcane hype train.
Know what you're getting yourself into. Potentially some very...
Yeah, he plays for toxicity is what he said. I don't know what he meant by that. Probably just really poor wording. I don't know what he's saying. I really don't. He plays the game for toxicity.
Not fun, not safe for work. Times are waiting for you. So, yeah, just be prepared.
I think he's like trying to say something different, but he's not wording it correctly to the point where it's actually like comprehensible.
For that, and that's pretty much it. Good luck, have fun, guys. Much love, friends and family. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll do more in-depth reviews on the communities of games metas and experiences that are just a little deviated from just literal mechanical reviews of games. I do want to talk more about that.
What
Upcoming,
a
actually,
weird
have a VR
video.
MMO review, so please, much love on the channel, guys. Thanks for the Patreon supporters, liking and subscribing and all that good stuff. But that's pretty much it. More essays coming up, and I'll see you in the next one.
Wow. Wow, what a video. I was not expecting that. I was expecting smart takes or something. Some of the takes he had were really bad, to be honest. I didn't understand what he was saying, like about the fucking, like, what? So he plays for toxicity, and he thinks people should be able to leave the game in League to prevent toxicity. He's a Nuna player. I don't know what we were expecting. True.